But that traumatic detachment ruptures the drone's abdominal tissues, his reproductive organs. It leads to catastrophic internal trauma.
And he just falls away.
Instantly paralyzed and dies within moments.
So this idea that a drone might try to, retain his Endophalus to mate again.
Biologically impossible, completely. The physical stress and tissue trauma of that evolution, whether the plug is fully formed or not, it's fatal. His entire evolutionary function is completed in one explosive, final, total act of self-sacrifice.
His life is consumed by one single act of generative competence.
And that fatality, death upon completion of purpose, it's shocking to us, especially when you frame it through, human sentiment.
It seems so brutal.
But the sources give us some really important context here. They show that the invertebrate world is just full of these brutal, transactional, and often intensely self-sacrificial mating systems.
So it helps frame the honeybee's fate, not as some weird exception.
But maybe as a particularly high-stakes version of a very common biological rule. It's vital context. Nature is not polite.
Right.
It's a relentless machine. It's focused purely on the propagation of genes, and often at an extreme cost to the individual male. This brutality just shows how much selection pressure there is to maximize that one moment of genetic transfer.
So let's run through some of the examples the sources highlight. The classic one, of course, is the praying mantis.
Right. The female praying mantis often practices what's called sexual cannibalism. She may, and frequently does, decapitate the male during copulation.
What's fascinating and kind of morbidly efficient is what the sources point out about that.
It's that sometimes the decapitation actually increases the efficiency of the copulation.
Oh.
You lose the nervous inhibition from the brain, so the male's body just continues the reproductive act with even greater vigor. It ensures the gene transfer happens before he becomes a meal.
So the best sex of his life is his very last one.
Proving that the body's function can exceed the brain's necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have the bed bugs, which just sound like a pure biological horror show.
They really are. They use a strategy called traumatic insemination.
It sounds awful.
It is. The male completely bypasses the female's legitimate reproductive tract. Instead, he uses his sharp, needle-like genitals to violently stab her through the abdomen, through her body wall, and he injects sperm directly into her body cavity, into her hemolymph. It's a forceful, aggressive, and highly injurious strategy.
It's a complete evolutionary arms race.
That's what it is. Female defense mechanisms are constantly being subverted by this brutal male aggression that's focused solely on transmission.